Hello everyone, Marty Seekers Wrestlers here, and today I'm going to give you guys my ranking on the Flash's graphic novel. So this is going to be from Bloodwork all the way to the Negative Forces. Let's get started. Coming in last place, easily the worst graphic novel by far, it's all negative. Now this one, man, this graphic novel was really bad. So the first episode, episode 17, was not a good episode. You had Allegra, which, to be fair, I don't hate Allegra's character, I just think she's a very dull character. But the episode itself basically retcons everything that Season 6B kind of did. Especially with the Black Hole characters, like Sunshine and Dr. Light, kind of retcons them. At least with Sunshine. I don't remember if we learned anything about Dr. Light in Season 6, or even Season 7, but if so, let me know in the comments. But Sunshine, wasn't she like a soldier at one point who was discharged, something like that? Yeah. And now they say, oh, she was part of a gang that Allegra used to be in. I'm like, where did this come from? When was Allegra in a gang before she was a criminal and put in Iron Heights for what, like 15 years? It makes no logical sense, okay? Now, in the rest of the graphic novel isn't that great either. Episode 18, The Man in Yellow Tie, was not a good episode. It was probably the best of the graphic novel, but still wasn't a good episode. You had Dawn in Lian Yu, which I understand, but it's not in a meta cell. Oh. And the thing is, Dawn, I find it, now I'm starting to think the writers think Barry has only known Dawn for one season. So, because for some reason, it feels like Team Flash has never fought Dawn in season 8. And to be honest, you can kind of see it. Like, realistically, Barry's way smart enough to know that Dawn has a trick up his sleeve on a lot of stuff. So maybe he has a trick up his sleeve. Maybe this was all part of his plan. And you put him in a meta cell. But you also get the alert. I even said this, like say if Dawn somehow escapes, I know he doesn't have his speed, but Barry will be able to rush over there really quickly and be able to stop Dawn before Barry can obviously barricade the cell even more. Something like that makes far more logical sense. And I think we can all agree it's the best way for Barry to realize Dawn is way too dangerous. 19 and 20 were not good episodes. They just make Team Flash look stupid. Like, why doesn't Barry tell OG Dawn or Dawn from Legend of Tomorrow Season 7 is that he does actually become Reverse Flash at one point? Maybe just not at this point. Maybe this version of Dawn doesn't become Reverse Flash, but still. If I knew someone who did only several things, and I met a version of him who doesn't remember doing any of that, or doesn't remember doing or becoming something, I would at least tell them in private, saying, hey, I know you because you did something like this before. Maybe you didn't do it, maybe this part of you probably didn't do it, but maybe we can kind of prevent that. Like, why doesn't Barry tell OG Dawn, hey, we can probably prevent you from becoming the next Reverse Flash again? Why? I don't know, really. In 20, Mina was going to destroy the machine, even though the machine literally gave her the speed that they literally needed to take down Dawn. Just so many inconsistencies, very bad writing, very dumb characters. In my opinion, a lot of plot holes. In my opinion, this is by far the worst graphic novel. Coming in number 6 is the Forces arc, or God Complex. Now, I actually don't think this arc is anywhere near as bad as some people would say. It's definitely a pretty bad graphic novel, don't get me wrong, but it definitely had some highlights in my opinion. Unlike its last graphic novel, which had almost no good episodes, this one actually does have a few good episodes. You have episode 4 and 5, which in my opinion were epic and easily 9 or 10 out of 10. You had episode 7, which in my opinion was an all-around great episode, which I really enjoyed because, I really like Chillblaine, and that episode introduced him, and I really like that episode. It has a very murder mystery type vibe, which I really enjoy. Though the rest weren't that good. I do agree that the graphic novel was way too comical and way too goofy at times. I just wish they took a more season 4, season 1 kind of tone where, it's very fun, but at the same time it's pretty dark, it's pretty violent, pretty bloody, etc. But I think my overall issue is that the way they handle the forces. So you had Psyche, who was really, really cool until he becomes the whole, hey Barry, you're my father, even though you're 20 years old, and I'm a 40-year-old man. And the way they use Fuerza in the CGI, obviously, yeah, I mean, it's still better than, say, Spider-Man No Way Home's CGI, that's for sure. I still would say it's the worst CGI on The Flash. And just Dion, Dion's Force, not the fan of it, because it's essentially just time travel, time loops. That's more like, I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it. I just wish they'd handle him where he's more slow, he slows down time, he speeds up, he doesn't speed up time like the Flash. I wish they do something like that, unless, that's how the Still Force is in the comics. But I'm pretty sure the Still Force is basically the same as the Speed Force, just instead of running really fast, you're very slow. But overall, I'd say the God Complex is a mixed bag for me. Coming in number 5, we have Godspeed War. Now, the Godspeed Imperative storyline, in my opinion, was 4 episodes, and to be fair, I wasn't a huge fan of this. Okay, fair enough, the Godspeed Clone War, that kind of is entertaining. That one makes sense, But I just felt the way they handled Godspeed's voice was just way too ridiculous. He's like, everybody will soon be mine. Okay, that was a horrible impression. Horrible impression. But still, sometimes it's so hard to understand because sometimes he's like, when he's like, infinite velocity would soon be mine, though from what I thought I heard, everyone would soon be mine. Something like that. Yeah, it's like, what? And also, you had that lightsaber fight. So I'd say the Godspeed Civil War storyline is just like the God Complex, where it's a mixed bag. Coming in number 4 is Armageddon. Now, Armageddon is literally like the last 2, and it's a mixed bag because the first 2 episodes of Armageddon were an absolutely 10 out of 10. I think I gave them a very positive review. Episode 3, on the other hand, no, I did not like episode 3. Episode 3 just focused on Allegra and Iris and Cecile, which did not work. Barry and Black Lightning was the most interesting part, but they were barely in the episode. So in my opinion, it kind of made me realize now I kind of understand why some people start saying the Flash is not in the show, because sometimes you don't even have the Flash. And this episode right here was a perfect example. Episode 3 did not focus on the Barry and Black Lightning storyline, which, to be fair, I was more interested in. Instead, what we got was just Cecile, Iris, Allegra, and Top together just for half of the episode. Now, then you have episode 4, which was very good, but it had a lot of problems, a lot of it. But then you have part 5, which in my opinion, nope. I mean, you have the whole scene with Joe getting pissed just because, they're letting Dawn die, even though this literally backfired on him. Because not long after, in fact, later in season 8, Dawn literally kills Iris. And Joe is like, you gotta give Dawn a second chance, or you gotta save Dawn, because, Dawn, I don't know. Seriously, what were they thinking? It's like, for some reason in season 8, they made Joe and Cecile as if they're best friends with Joe or Dawn. It's like, I don't know. Season 8 Joe is Dawn's best friend or brother. Now I don't believe that, because it's not like you're and besides, it's not even that bad of a thing just not saving Dawn. I mean, because he could literally hurt Iris. Why didn't Barry at least tell him, hey, you do know Dawn is more likely to hurt Iris. What about that? Seriously, I literally am coming with better ideas just for Barry. There's so many reasons as to why Barry can literally say to Joe, hey, why there's a reason why we're not saving him. What if he hurts Iris? He's more likely to hurt Iris than say Leonard Snart or Mick Rory. Barry can just say something like that, and maybe Joe would actually start to agree with him. Armageddon, to me, in my opinion, the whole Dawn situation, just in my opinion, killed Armageddon. In fact, I'd say Dawn killed season 8. Yeah, Dawn killed the entirety of season 8. Right. Coming in number 3, we have The Mirror Monarch, or Reflections and Lies. Now, to be honest, I find this graphic novel extremely underrated. Yes, is the season 7 episodes that good of the graphic novel? Obviously no, but I think the season 6 episodes are fantastic. It really shows you, and the reason why I think I like this graphic novel a lot more than, say, the season 8 graphic novels is because it actually connects to the Bloodwork story. Bloodwork was basically pre-crisis, and Mirror Monarch is essentially post-crisis. And there's actually many references to what happened pre-crisis, which in my opinion made the entire season feel far better connected. Which in my opinion made the graphic novel approach a lot better, because it actually connects to each other. And I actually really like Mirror Monarch only in season 6. In season 6, I really enjoyed her character a lot. I thought she was a good villain, because it really felt like she's the type of antagonist that's not going to kill Barry. She's not that type of villain. She's not like Savitar. She's not like Zoom. She's more like, I'm not going to do any of that, because what's the point? I'm not that kind of person. So, yeah. Though the season 7 episodes do in fact drag it down to like a B tier at best. Okay. Finally, our runner-up is the Ghost Rider arc, or Death Revisited. This arc right here was fantastic. I love this arc. Yeah, it had some episodes which weren't the best, but were still enjoyable. Well, yeah, it had episodes like that, but to me, this arc was straight up perfect. Just the whole concept of using Ronnie Raymond back and yet tricking everyone. Yeah, in my opinion, that worked so well. Ghost Rider was a fantastic villain. He was really a scary antagonist. I'd probably say he's the scariest since Bloodwork. And how he manipulated Caitlin was led to Frost's death, which, in my opinion, came out of nowhere. Which, in my opinion, this graphic novel kind of felt more from The Walking Dead at times, which, in my opinion, I absolutely enjoyed a lot. Alright, so I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. Easily one of the best graphic novels ever. And finally, the number 1, obviously, it's Blood and Truth, or Quicksilver arc. Okay, I'm joking. We have the Bloodwork arc. Bloodwork, yeah. This arc was right here is one of the main reasons season 6 is the best season of the show, in my opinion. It deals with the horror aspect. But I think the reason I find this arc to be so compelling is because of the whole is Bloodwork right or wrong? Because realistically, I wouldn't say Bloodwork was a bad guy. You know, he just wanted to find a way to cure death. You know, that's not that bad of a thing. Trying to find a way to still be alive is not a bad thing. Though the way he went about it was wrong. That's what caused Team Flash to worry about. But I just like the whole conflicting between Barry's acceptance of Crisis and Bloodwork's not accepting. It also shows a pretty dark mirror image between the two, which in my opinion made the season 6 much more compelling. And I also thought that the whole concept with Team Flash is not accepting Flash's death, in my opinion, works so much better than, say, like, saving Dawn, because reasons. You know, saving the Flash makes far more logical sense, etc. But there you have it. That's my ranking on the graphic novels. Let me know what you thought down below. As always, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.